Okay, good morning, everyone. My name is Mel Debenham. I lead the Supermums Consulting team. We are Salesforce recruitment specialists. Every Friday, we have what we call our Friday Roundup. So I've got the team with me today. So hopefully we can give you a good insight into what our week's been like. We're going to talk through a couple of our key vacancies this week and hopefully, just give you a couple of interview hints and tips. So Libby, how has your week been?
Yeah, it's been really, really good. I've took lots of new vacancies. I just want to give you a little bit of an insight of one of them I've taken from a charity.
Great.
Well, it's actually two vacancies. So we're looking for a permanent and a fixed term contract vacancy for 18 months. These are two Salesforce administrator vacancies paid up to £42,000 per year. Both of them are full-time vacancies with an expectation to be in the office ideally for a day a week, but they are flexible up to 1 day a month to work around a working parent. They also have flexible working hours as well, again, to suit a working parent, which is fabulous. Ideally, we'd like somebody with a bit of experience working in a non-profit organisation, but they don't need to have experience in MPSP. Ideally, somebody with 2 to 3 years hands-on experience in Salesforce would be ideal. But whether you've got your Salesforce admin cert or not, if you are interested in this vacancy, feel free to reach out. Paula is actually working on this vacancy. Paula is in this call, so feel free to reach out if you are interested in any of these, because we are arranging interviews ASAP for these.
Fantastic. And, the culture of that organisation, what's it like to work there? Do you know?
I think something really key to them is, the core values, same as working with any charity, somebody who really is looking at the humanitarian side of working for a charity is something that's super key. Like I say, Paul will be able to give an insight a little bit more on that, but it's something that's super important that somebody is looking at the personality side of working for a charity, the humanitarian side of it, and the education side of it. So yeah, that's the key part of this role.
Fantastic. Good stuff. Okay. So, Kristen, you've been working with candidates this week. Tell us a little bit about the best sort of interview tip that you've been able to offer to one of your candidates this week.
Yeah, so I think I've been working with a few candidates at final interview this week. And one of the things that we've talked a lot about is that this isn't just an opportunity for you to, present yourself in the best light and to talk about the role, but it's also an opportunity to evaluate whether you feel like the role is going to be a great fit in terms of your sort of growth trajectory and where you see yourself. So one of the tips that I've been sharing that I've found a lot of success with personally, and I know a lot of candidates that I've worked with in the past have found a lot of success with, is to ask, what does success look like in this role? So just by highlighting, that you know and understand that there are going to be deliverables, whether they be KPIs or whether they be specific business objectives tied to the success of the role. You want to know, are those things that I have in mind in terms of where I'm headed or where I want to grow? And by asking that question, it can lead to several others that will give you a real full understanding of whether that role really fits in well with how you see yourself in the future.
Mm-hmm. Brilliant. Really good question to ask, I think. And I think in terms of a response to that, clients for me much more are now having to talk about, or employers are having to talk a lot about what it's like to work for their organization, where that role can get to, what success looks like, because we're in a candidate short market. The talent isn't moving around. There's new people coming into the ecosystem, and clients really need to promote as much as they can their organization and why it's a great place to be.
Well, and again, it really goes into the growth trajectory that you see for yourself. Obviously, everyone has individual goals about how they want to grow and achieve great things. And I think, especially within the Salesforce ecosystem, a lot of emphasis on what's that next certification, what are those new skills that I'm going to gain and learn and grow from. And with all that emphasis on the ability to, just continue growing, whether it's, a specific set of skills or more general soft skills. I think it's in everyone's best interest to know and understand, hey, how am I going to be successful, and how am I going to continue to grow in the ways in which are going to benefit me, as an individual, in terms of what my goals are for myself personally.
Brilliant. Thanks for that. Some really good info there. Thank you. Paula, tell us about a vacancy that you're working with at the moment.
Yeah, sure. So I've got a CRM manager with a company called Away Resorts. They're happy for us to put the name out there. Really lovely company based in Hempstead. They are looking for a CRM manager up to salary of 40,000. Now they want it to be a hybrid model, 3 days in the office, 2 days remote. So ideally somebody in that Hertfordshire area would be perfect. It is a permanent role. Overall, the job title or the job itself contains duties like managing the end-to-end customer communication strategy. They're really looking for somebody with at least 2 years experience in a similar role. Now, just to highlight what they're looking for here is preferably somebody with marketing cloud experience or the knowledge and experience of developing and delivering campaigns. Reporting on trading activity, and also supporting the sales and operations team by developing and enhancing the sales communication strategy, and then supporting the head of CRM as well. So supporting the head of CRM to set and achieve annual targets and objectives, and to manage the CRM team. So ideally somebody with at least 2 years experience in managing and inspiring a small team, somebody who's commercially astute and driven by delivering to targets, because there will be targets within the team. Lovely, lovely company. The benefits package is second to none. And the client Away Resorts themselves, actually, as a company, have a really lovely can-do attitude with a people-centered ethos. There is also another role underneath this CRM manager's role, and that's a CRM executive. Now, this executive will be working on the team of the CRM manager. So if you are somebody who has got 2 years experience, maybe not specifically the marketing cloud experience, but you're willing to learn, you pick things up quickly, that could be a role for you. So if it does sound like something that you're interested in, please just get in touch.
Sounds great. Sounds great. They are a really nice organisation, aren't they? I think they've recently just had some massive investment, and that's allowed them to continue on their growth plan. So really good place to be. Okay, thank you for that. Ikra, you've been really busy this week on interviews. So what's the best tip that you've been able to offer to someone this week?
Well, I would really like to give one useful tip to all of those who's listening and going to have their interviews soon. I usually suggest this to my candidates when I'm doing one-to-one, and that's what I did this week as well. I always ask my candidates to prepare and make a list of at least 8 to 10 questions for the interview. So I'm sure, so many of us have faced this problem, like when suddenly, an interviewer asks, have you got any questions for me? And you must have gone like, oh God, what should I ask? And you might either say no, or in the end, you must have asked questions about salary or about, the dress code or any repeated questions. So what I'm going to suggest is don't do that. It's always best to prepare your questions beforehand, before you go to the interview. Ask about the questions, team size, personal growth, what's the business plan of the company like, and some of the technical based questions. And the reason I always ask to prepare, beforehand, because I'm sure in the beginning of the interview, half of your questions will be already answered by the interviewer. So then, when they're going to give you the introduction, some of your questions will be already ticked off. So it's always best to, prepare some questions beforehand. And on the other hand, if you just want to sound more confident, so you can also ask some questions about the business plan, like I said. And normally, one more thing, when you go to the interview, right? Normally, interview will ask you that where do you see yourself after 3 to 5 years? Why do you have to wait for the interviewer to ask you this question? You can also ask this question. You can ask that, what's the growth for this company like after 5 years? So I think that's the amazing question to ask. That's it.
Good stuff. Thank you. Yeah, I think preparing those interview questions beforehand is really, really useful. I think every interview that I've ever attended, or every interview that a candidate's ever been to for me, it's the killer question at the end, isn't it? What would you like to ask us? And sometimes even if you've prepared those questions and the potential employers answered them,
and it has happened with me as well.
Yeah, you can at least say, look, I did prepare some questions, you know, they were around the training, or they were around the business plan, or you know, what makes your organization successful. You know, at least they know that you've prepared at that point. So yeah, some really good tips. Thank
And
you
it's
for
going
that.
to show that, you know, they are genuinely interested in this company. So that's the best thing.
Good stuff. Mary, you cover
Yes.
the US for us predominantly. So what's it been like over in the States for you this week?
Yeah, I had two meetings with a very great companies. So I'm looking forward to help them when it comes to getting diverse and talented professional candidates we have. And yeah, I'm proud of helping not just the companies, but helping our candidates to get the job that they deserve. So yeah, it's a fulfilling job for me.
Fantastic. So for anyone that is watching today that doesn't know too much about Supermums, as I said when I opened up, we are very much a dedicated recruiter. We focus on the Salesforce ecosystem. Our clients are really mixed, from non-profits through to consultancies, through to ISVs. We take a lot of people that come out of our training cohort. 40% of our placements are entry-level candidates, which is great for us because it means that we can help those mums and dads these days on their journey into the ecosystem. But beyond that, you know, because of our reputation, we are also asked for other types of candidates, such as developers, consultants, technical architects, project managers, and so on. We cover both the UK and the US at the moment. Yeah, you know, we have a really good time. And I think in terms of, you know, the team that you see in front of you, you know, they're totally committed to helping certainly champion women in tech, and ultimately deliver good results and get people, you know, the jobs of their dreams. So Jen, can you tell us a little bit more about what someone would need to do to register their details with us?
Yep. So the best way to register with us, if you're interested to apply in any of our vacancies, you can just go to our website. Just go to supermums.org, and on the recruitment tab, there should be a drop down that would lead you to the active jobs page that we have. So from there, you can browse through our job vacancies, and if you find that you're a good fit for one of them, you can just click on the bottom or at the top of the page that says apply as a candidate. Just take note of the job that you're interested on, and then you can specify it on the form that you are filling up when you're registering with us.
Fantastic, thank you. So if you are looking for work at the moment and you're in the ecosystem or wanting to join it, take a look at that webpage, get in touch with any of us. We're here and we would love to help. But ladies, as in my team, thank you so much. That's Friday Roundup 1 completed, as they say, you know, in professional acting circles. It's a wrap. Well done. Thank you. Have a great weekend.
Happy Friday.
Happy Friday.
Bye.